Are you craving a trip on Space Mountain? Well, we've got the next best thing. Welcome to Disney Coast to Coast.
Hey folks, and welcome to Disney Coast to Coast, the ultimate unofficial Disney fan podcast. I'm Jeff DePaoli.
And I'm Patrick Dougal.
And Patrick Dougal, do we have enough news today?
Oh my God.
Much. This was like the week of Disney insanity, like news-wise.
I know the last couple weeks were like, oh yeah, there's some stories, but then they're like, oh, we're gonna just release everything we can in one time.
It was crazy. We're gonna try to keep this to a manageable length, but we've got some important stuff to talk about, starting with Frozen of the Week.
Mm-hmm.
Just say it. Just say it, Patrick.
It's Frozen News of the Week.
Ding! Starting off with Frozen 2. It's happening.
Yeah.
Frozen 2 is happening. Here's the funny thing about Frozen 2 and this big announcement. We all knew it was coming.
Yeah.
I feel like. I was still like sitting on the edge of my seat waiting for them to say it at this shareholders meeting where they announced it. Like I was listening to it and it was just like they were teasing it and teasing it. It was like, just say it. Just say it. And they said it. And it's just like...
I think the funniest part was like literally 3 days before, there was another rumor that came out about Frozen 2. And they actually had official Disney people come out and deny the rumor. They're like, no, we're not working on it. Don't worry. 3 days later, guys, we're working on it.
It was in relation to the Broadway show, I believe, right? They said they were putting their energy to it.
They're like, we're putting it to Broadway. Nothing's in the works for Frozen 2. Literally 3 days later, yeah, we're working on Frozen 2.
Yeah, so that happened. My big thing that I'm questioning, and first of all, actually, what are your immediate reactions? Yes or no?
I have to know the story. Obviously, it doesn't matter what happens. It's going to make
a bajillion
dollars.
Yes.
Which is why they're making it.
My complaint is, number one, top of my head, I can't think of any other Walt Disney Animation sequels other than Rescuers Down Under. Other than that, can't think of any. Other than Pixar, of course. Mm-hmm. There's also a very famous quote from Walt Disney that says, you can't top pigs with pigs. And this was in relation to the Three Little Pigs. And that made a boatload of money. Sold more merchandise than Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck when that came out. Huge, huge, huge movie. But it was just, and then they made a sequel and it just did not do nearly as well. It wasn't nearly as good. And like, that's just kind of how I feel. I'm like, I feel like this is going down a little bit of a slippery, dangerous path. Not saying I won't say it. Not saying I might not even enjoy it. But I don't think this is a trend that should start.
Yeah, I don't think they even, I mean, when they did Frozen, who knew it was going to be this big, but it like...
I feel like keep it alive in other ways.
It's even out of, yes, which they are. They are doing in a lot of ways.
Hence Frozen of the Week.
But like, it's not even, obviously we're in the US, so the US is one thing, but like even overseas, I'm sure it's bigger over there than anything.
It feels like everything's bigger overseas. It's crazy.
So...
But it seems very split as far as, social media goes, people wanting and not wanting. It's like 50-50.
I think right now, yes, it is too much, but they just announced it right now. It's obviously not going to come out for a couple years.
That's
so
true.
By the time it comes out, I think I'll be ready for it. Obviously, if there's like Frozen 2 next year, I'm like... chill. Literally chill.
Chillax. The 50-50 thing, I think regardless of which side you're on, you're going to go see it.
Yeah. Like, Zootopia's coming out next year. I hope they do Moana before they...
Oh, yes.
Before they're doing Frozen 2.
Yeah,
so Frozen 2 is a little out of the way, and I'm glad that they're putting a couple more movies in front of it before that.
But it's happening, folks.
Yeah.
Also, along with Frozen 2, as we both know, Frozen Fever has been released.
Yes.
And we've both seen it. And what are your thoughts?
I loved it.
If you haven't seen it, it's before Cinderella in theaters now. You loved it.
I loved it.
I liked it. I enjoyed it.
I laughed more in the short than I did in like the original movie.
I did laugh a few times. If you haven't seen it, I think my immature level here, Elsa's snot snowmen, as I call them, every time she sneezes.
They're called snow geese.
Snow geese?
Like boogies, but...
snow geese. Oh, okay.
Snow geese.
Okay. Snoogies. Snow geese. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, whenever she sneezes, little snowmen are magically... They don't come out of her nose or anything.
No,
but
they just like...
poof around her. They're like little Tsum Tsums flying everywhere.
They are.
But, there's got to be a Snowgy Tsum Tsum. But... Yeah, it was good. The song was a redo of a song that was originally made for the original film. I didn't find it particularly catchy. I can't remember it. It's a fun little short. And that's about it, I think. Enjoyable, though. So if you haven't seen it, catch it before Cinderella. Guess what? There's more Frozen news of the week.
Of course there is.
Frozen Summer Fun is returning to Disney's Hollywood Studios at Walt Disney World.
A questionable name.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. But that's coming back June 17th through September 7th at the Hollywood Studios.
And it did so well last year. Obviously, it came back. It even extended last year. So.
It extended, and I believe some stuff is still there.
Yeah,
right?
sing-along
the sing-along
still
never
going.
left. And the fireworks are coming back, which I think is exciting. And so that'll be back. And this, there's also this other thing, the coolest summer ever.
Yeah.
Which is Frozen related with Olaf, is coming to the Magic Kingdom. And they actually announced this in Boston. Did you see this? Or not announced it, but they did some Boston thing.
They made a beach.
Yeah. If you haven't heard, my home is Boston, and it's freezing there. It's been freezing for a long time. Really harsh winter, tons of snow. So Disney decided to put a beach at Faneuil Hall in Boston to announce this, and they made a sandcastle of
Olaf was there.
Yeah, it was cool.
Course.
Yeah, for a photo op, I believe, right? Which is kind of cool. And they made this announcement of the coolest summer ever at the Magic Kingdom. Now, the coolest summer ever is a launching platform for the 24-hour day, which is going to be May 22nd.
Into the 23rd.
Into the 23rd, 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. And so at Walt Disney World, they're doing things like costume party again, where they're encouraging you to dress up and show your Disney side, #Disney side.
So which is very interesting because with the past 24-hour days, the past 3 of them, they've always had the same theme on both coasts, whether it was like Rock Your Disney Side or Monstrous Summer. So this year it's a little split because Walt Disney World is getting a Frozen theme for the 24-hour day, and we're just getting like Disneyland's 60th celebration.
Yeah, as we said, May 22nd. You might remember that from a previous episode. That's a big day because that is the launch of the 60th anniversary of Disneyland. That's when Paint the Night is premiering. That's when World of Color, the new one, Celebrate is premiering. That's
and
when
Disneyland Forever fireworks.
Oh, it's gonna be a crazy day.
Yeah.
So it was a crazy day
originally
to begin with.
Yeah.
Now it's a 24-hour day. I think we're taking the challenge, right?
Oh yeah.
We're like legitimately going to do 24 hours straight.
Yeah.
We're not leaving.
Yes.
That's the plan.
Yes.
And
I'm ready. I'm so ready.
It'll be fine. We'll be good. Sleeping outside, yo. It's going to be awesome. Oh, God, Patrick, what are we doing?
It's going to be a long day.
But yes, like you said, now, one thing I know you're probably disappointed about is saying we cannot dress up here at Disneyland.
It's very... They put, like, for Walt Disney World, they said, come dress, show your Disney side, come dress as your favorite character. Cool. They just didn't mention it for Disneyland. People have asked about it, and the responses have been super vague. They haven't said, no, don't do it. No, don't do this. They're just like, hey, I think the response was like a link to just their like normal guidelines. And
for like daily operation.
Yeah, but it is.
So basically, if you go Disney, what's the word?
Disney bound.
Disney bounding, you'll be fine. If you're going full on costume, like you did last year, you'll be in trouble.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind, but I wonder if I would get in trouble because I was a newsie last year and like those are street clothes.
In park, like meet and greet characters are like what they really.
Yeah. So, but we're getting a 24-hour day, which up until recently, I honestly didn't think we were going to get.
Yeah, it was really scary because the past ones have
really
always...
Scary.
I was scared.
I love that. Oh, no.
I literally was like, every week I like tweet, I was like, is anyone else concerned that they haven't like announced this yet? Because all the other past ones have been like in July. I remember like New Year.
They've been May.
No, I mean, sorry, January.
They've announced them earlier.
They've announced them like, I think one of them was announced like New Year's Eve. They had a whole thing with Disney side was announced and all that. But like up until March, they're just like killing us.
Guarantee that next year there will be because it's a leap year. Which is how this whole thing started. If you remember, there was a leap year,
in February,
and they called it One More Disney Day. And I actually loved that idea. I think it's a fantastic idea. I actually wish it was every 4 years because it would just be more special that way.
No,
but it makes a lot of money. Let's face it. We're as annual pass holders, we often go to the park and don't spend $1.
Yeah,
I'd say that's accurate. We will have snacks. We'll eat before we go. We won't pay for parking because it's part of the pass. Whatever. That's normal. Guess what? When we're there 24 hours, we're gonna be spending some money.
Yeah.
Of course, shooting gallery.
Okay.
Let's bring
all of our money.
Let's bring a roll of quarters.
Shooting
gallery. Anywho, so yeah, that's the 24-hour day. It's pretty exciting.
I do like the first year was for leap year, and that was in February.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like it in May, but
weather's nicer.
It might go back to February next year.
We'll see. Moving on from there, now that we're at Disneyland, another thing that kind of happened out of the blue, at least it was a little bit of a surprise to me, is World of Color is back at Disney California Adventure.
Yeah, everyone thought, like, obviously a lot of things went under refurbishment for the Disneyland 60th, and so did World of Color. So it was kind of obvious, like, if it went down and a new show was coming, they're probably going to add new show elements and it won't be up till that day, but no, they're like, oh, World of Color's back up, and it's our old show, so catch it while you can, because May 22nd is changing.
And really bad news, they did not cut the Brave section. That's unfortunate.
It's great. Love it. Love it.
But I did discover a fun little new game, which I don't know how I'd never heard of before.
Mickey's Fun Wheel Challenge.
Mickey's Fun Wheel Challenge is like a game of memory with the fun wheel in your phone, and it's kind of a blast.
Yeah, it's pretty fun, although my phone doesn't like to stay connected to their Wi-Fi, so Disney, if you can fix that, thank you.
But it was fun.
Yeah,
and the funny thing is, okay, I was going really, like, admittedly, I was going fast. You were watching me.
You have to go fast.
I cannot believe in some cases, I didn't win. Because if you win, here's the best part. You get to control the lights on the fun wheel for 15 seconds. That's awesome.
Now, I'm sure this is old news for some people.
Yeah, it's probably... I had never heard of this.
I did this back in... I think they released it this past summer. So it's been almost a year.
You know what it is, well, they make the announcement, like, 30 minutes before the show starts. I always show up last minute because, you know, with World of Color, you get a fast pass. It's like, I don't need to be there an hour early.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I'd never really done it before. So, yay!
Yeah, but it's good to have World of Color back.
Loving the old stuff.
So we can just catch that show before it changes to celebrate.
Seriously, well, because, and frankly, you should, because we don't know when it's going to change back, because, like, right now, I'm going through a little bit of Remember Dreams Come True withdrawal. That was one of my favorite fireworks shows, and right now, it seems like it's never going to come back, so that's a little sad.
I do just think we're in that, like, spring break season, so they feel like they have to, like, it's pretty busy in the parks right now.
It's really busy,
so
yeah.
It's that spring break crowd, so they have to push out some more entertainment.
Yeah. So in any case, World of Color's back, if you didn't know, kind of snuck up on us. And speaking of Disneyland, we have the springtime Roundup coming to Disneyland, which I know you're excited about.
Yeah, I'm always excited about holiday stuff.
Because this means, you literally hopped, because this means more characters for Patrick to meet. Which, I remember last year, you were still in Florida, and I was taking photos of, like, Roger Rabbit and stuff. You're like, why aren't they here? So,
well, they do bring the bunnies out, but just not Roger Rabbit. We don't have Roger Rabbit. It's usually, like, Thumper and Rabbit from Pooh and Brer Rabbit, but no Roger Rabbit.
This takes place down at back at the, what's it called? The Frontierland.
Big Thunder Ranch.
Big Thunder Ranch. There we go. Big Thunder Ranch in the back there.
Where all their holiday stuff is.
Yeah, and it's pretty fun. Like, it's a fun little area. It's fun to do stuff there, and it comes back.
There's egg decorating.
Yeah, March 20th through April 12th, and then after that through June. So it's like every day from March 20th through April 12th, and then after that it's the weekends through June 7th. So you got quite a bit of time to experience it, and it should be fun. And I'm looking forward to it. It doesn't sound like too much different from last year, but I actually am like a big Easter fan, and I don't know if it's, well, to be honest, one of like the big things for me for Easter as a kid was the Walt Disney World Happy Easter Parade that they used to air on television.
I just like chocolate bunnies.
You just like chocolate bunnies, and
I like eating their ears
first.
Yep.
And then they go deaf.
Yep.
It's like eating a Mickey Mouse ice cream. Ear first.
Delicious.
Anyway, moving on from there, speaking of springtime stuff, I want to thank our listener Jamie, who wrote in he's over at Disneyland Paris. So
cool.
We have people in Paris listening.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and he really wants us to mention that Swing into Spring has begun at Disneyland Paris. And this
they do big things over there.
So this is March 1st through May 31st, so it's already begun. And it's kind of like, it's park wide. And it's a little bit of Epcot Flower and Garden Festival. They have the topiaries around, which are really nice. Looks like they have a lot of like special performance stuff going on, maybe even like a mini parade. It looks really beautiful. If you haven't seen anything about it, you might want to YouTube it, check out some footage from that. And also on the Disneyland Paris website, like the descriptions and the photos are really, really nice. So Disneyland Paris is the place to be for spring.
Yeah, apparently.
So...
But I'm happy with just my little egg hunt that's happening in Disneyland and California Adventure. Yeah. It's in both parks.
We'll be talking about that next week. There's so much to talk about.
I'm excited.
Yay! And moving on from there, let's see. Oh, Cinderella came out. Did you know this?
I did. Yeah. Because I saw it twice.
I saw it at the El Capitan, which if you don't know, it's a theater that Disney owns, and they always do special stuff before the movie. It was pretty fun. And what'd you think of the movie overall?
I liked it more than I thought I would.
I liked it probably about as much as I thought I would. I thought I would enjoy it. I very much enjoyed it.
I had high expectations for Maleficent. It didn't meet those, so I lowered my expectations for Cinderella, and it went higher. So, I'm happy.
Good deal. What specifically did you like?
I like the fact that they didn't try to change the story up. There was obviously aspects that they tweaked for the live action version, but the story itself didn't change, and I'm kind of sick of those like, oh, we're gonna twist the story around kind of things. I like the live action retelling of the story.
It seems like Beauty and the Beast is heading in that direction.
Good.
Of the simply retelling.
Great.
So, yeah, Cinderella was, Kenneth Branagh directed it. If you don't know who Kenneth Branagh is, he is the master. I mean, he's really good. He's done Hamlet and stuff. He's just a quality filmmaker and actor, and it's visually beautiful.
Yeah,
like holy moly,
if
gorgeous.
This doesn't win like costumes or something, it's crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
Now at the El Capitan, if you do see it there, if you live in Los Angeles, they have, of course, Frozen Fever before it everywhere. You saw it in IMAX as well.
I saw it in IMAX as well. I got a little pin too.
Any worth seeing in IMAX or what?
You don't have to. I don't think you really have to.
It's not in 3D or anything.
No. Obviously it's a bigger format, better sound mixing. I noticed that stuff. I don't know if the average moviegoer will, but I had Was it a clear picture? I feel like a lot of times when they bring these films to IMAX, it's not as clear a picture. No, obviously it's a clear picture, but it's not, obviously it doesn't use the entire IMAX screen formatted for it. I don't think you need to. I only did it because I had a few extra bucks on my little rewards card thing. I was like, I'll see you in IMAX.
Cool. I was talking about the El Capitan, and so they got the Frozen Fever before it. Olaf comes out, and it's a kind of lame little thing where he just, they play in summer, and it's just the costume character like dancing around. I'm like, all right.
Okay.
Best part is when confetti goes off because the audience loses their mind.
When was that?
During the pre-show at some point.
It just randomly goes off.
In summer! Or I can't even remember if it was that moment or not. I actually think it was part of the light show.
Gotcha.
People go crazy for confetti.
Yeah.
Like crazy.
Yeah.
We should just throw confetti in the middle of our show.
I'm telling you. People love confetti. Every time I go see Magical Map, there are kids scooping that stuff up. They're like, oh yeah, souvenirs.
During Magical Map, I love it when they pop the giant bubble balloons, and some of them always fall out into the audience, and those people they run and grab it. They're like, no, nobody's taking this. Not choking on that.
People love free stuff, even if it's free paper.
Yeah, it's totally true. And let's see, they also had a light show before the movie, which was really nice. Played the music, and they lit up the whole theater. And the El Cap is a cool experience. If you've never been, you should check it out sometime if you're ever visiting LA. Very, very cool. Not much more than a normal priced movie ticket because movies tickets are expensive these days. And it's just a really nice experience. So I highly recommend it. And Cinderella, check it out. Oh,
overall.
132 million around there this past weekend.
Wow.
Yeah. Huge movie.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm curious what the budget was on it. Cate Blanchett, fantastic.
Favorite.
I loved Lucifer. I think Lucifer was so much like the animated Lucifer. I thought it was just wonderful. And yeah, overall, great cast.
And if you do go see it, make sure you stick through the credits, because
I didn't.
Yeah. If you stick through the credits, Lily James actually sings, who plays Cinderella, A Dream's the Wish Your Heart Makes,
Mhm.
and then Helena Bonham Carter actually sings Bippity Boppity Boo.
Ah, bibbidi boppity boo. I didn't sit through the credits.
Yeah, so fun stuff.
So that was fun stuff, but now some business-like stuff. There was a shareholder meeting this past week, and normally, this is the money and dollars meeting, but there's always some fun announcements. I listened to the whole thing.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
I didn't.
I had it in my headphones, and I was just listening.
I just followed the tweets.
It was kind of fun to listen to, and actually, how I feel about Bob Iger.
Mhm.
I actually I really liked the way he presented himself at this meeting.
Good.
I thought it was a good meeting.
Awesome.
But I will say that there are some major announcements. Frozen 2 was one of them.
Yes.
And some announcements that kind of mistakenly came up.
Yeah.
Which was awesome. Because if you don't know, at the end of a shareholder meeting, they open up the floor to anybody who has questions. And there are some crazy questions that people give. But let's start with some of the stuff they planned. Star Wars 8 got a release date.
Yes.
May 26th, 2017. So we're not waiting those 3 years like we used to between major Star Wars films. It's
No.
going to be just a solid 2. Actually, less than 2, because it's going from December 2015 to May 2017. So a year and a half.
Jeez.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And before that even, the Disney standalone film got a title, Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean exactly?
Bounty Hunter?
Sure.
I'm guessing.
I don't know. Rogue One is the name of it. And that is December 16th, 2016. So basically a year after episode 7.
And did they said it's going to be starring Lillian James?
Did they say that?
Oh, I forgot her name.
Felicity
Jones.
Felicity Jones, yeah.
I was thinking of
I was going to say that's Cinderella, isn't it? I don't think she's doing it.
Felicity Jones, yes.
Mhm. And so that's December 16th. So Star Wars is full on rocking.
Yeah, they're
I
like,
guess.
here's some release days, all that's coming out. It's almost like the Marvel meeting where they're just like,
Oh,
release
that was
all those
nuts.
dates.
That was
Now
nuts.
it's like, oh, here's the Star Wars one too.
Yep. So moving quickly with those. Also, this excites me. Excites is the wrong word. Intrigues me more than anything that happened at the meeting.
Mhm.
A little child went up to the microphone with a question. This child's amazing because, first of all, I had never even heard rumors about this.
Yeah, neither did
This was
I.
the first time I was hearing about this. But this child asked, "Is the name of Disney's Hollywood Studios going to change?" And
They kind of got stumped.
well, at first, Bob Iger was like, no, and then he looked over to someone. It seemed like it might have been Staggs who he looked over at. He was like, yes, and then Bob was like, oh, yes, but we haven't announced it yet. and it was like, oh my God, wait a sec, Disney's Hollywood Studios is getting a name change? Where did this come from? And so it was confirmed by them that yes, the name will be changing. They're rebranding the park. No, they will not tell us what it is, nor when it will happen. And they shouldn't have even told us that it was going to happen.
Yeah.
Thank you, child.
I know, for real.
Thank you.
But it makes sense. Like,
Does it?
Hollywood Studios at the moment, like, Hat's gone, are adding new things.
Yeah, but that wasn't there to begin with. I don't know. Here's my concern.
I mean, it started with MGM Studios,
Yes,
so
which-
Hollywood Studios. So I think a new rebranding is great, and with a rebranding should be a name change.
Do you think that it's not going to be like Hollywood anymore? Like, I feel like the fact that they just updated the Great Movie Ride means they just revealed Grauman's Chinese again. That means that stuff's going to stay. So that whole movie aspect of the park, I feel like is still going to be there. Hence,
Yes.
the Hollywood name still works. My concern is
I always think, like, the park is so, like, straight down the middle to the right
Mhm.
is Hollywood.
Yeah.
Everything left, you have New York in the back of the street. So
Well, that's a backlot, though, which is movie set, which is Hollywood. Then you have a stunt show, which is Hollywood. You have Pixar Studios, which is a movie studio, which is Hollywood. So, like,
what would you think if they just changed it back to MGM Studios?
Well, first
just
of all-
because people will not stop calling it.
First, do people really still call it
Yeah.
that? Really? That won't happen because MGM is...
Well, no.
Actually, maybe it will because MGM could use the money, frankly.
Not even, like, associate it with MGM.
Oh, they just call it
the
MGM.
MGM Studios.
I think, well, first of all, do you think that possibly, and I doubt that they would have really said this.
Just call it Disney Studios?
Well, there's the Walt Disney Studios in Paris, I believe, is what they call the park, right? Walt Disney Studios Park.
Which is a mess of a park, but we'll talk about that.
It's a whole other show. But, so there's that. So it could become the Walt Disney Studios Park, which I don't think is that exciting of a name change. Like, if you're going to do that, and you know me, I love putting Walt's name on stuff, but I don't think you should necessarily change the name. There's also the whole, it's currently called Disney's Hollywood Studios, and like Disney's California Adventure, which became Disney California Adventure minus the apostrophe S, what if it's just going to be Disney Hollywood
Disney Hollywood Studios.
Like, that's a possibility.
I think now that they announced there's a name change, and if they came out with that, people would be like, really?
Yeah, well,
really?
I know, but I don't know. There's also somebody who asked about why they dropped Walt's name from stuff at the shareholder meeting, and I really appreciate that person asked that. And the answer was it's a branding thing, but whatever. That's, once again, a whole other show. But I hope, like, do you think it's going to become like Star Wars Park or something like that?
No. We're just going to have to wait to find out.
No, I need to know now. I need to know now.
I'm okay with the name change, though.
It depends on what they call it. I think Disney's Hollywood Studios is fine. I don't think it's going to change enough to the point that I will ever feel like, oh, it's not a Hollywood thing anymore. The entrance alone. Heck, if Disney California Adventure is still Disney California Adventure, which has no California references left in it.
They got Buena Vista Street.
They got Buena Vista Street in the Hollywood land. But like, Cars makes no sense. Like, it's
Paradise Pier?
No,
most of the park.
As much as Disney Hollywood Studios has Hollywood, I would say DCA has California. So, in any case, we're just going to have to wait and see and find out. But I think it's amazing that child asked that question. And I thank that child because that was awesome.
Let us know what you want.
Yeah, let us know what name you want it to be. That'd be awesome. Yeah. I'd be really curious to hear. So leave a comment below on YouTube if you're watching. And let us know. Oh, what would be the best name?
I don't know.
Be awesome. And let's see. Something else was said. Somebody asked a question about a third gate ever opening at Disneyland, and which has been rumors for a long time. Actually, when the whole Star Wars stuff in the park started, there was a huge rumor that we were going to get like a full-on Star Wars theme park here at Disneyland. They basically said, we have a lot of plans for Disneyland that have not been announced yet.
Cool.
Thumbs up for that. But it has nothing to do with a third gate. That is not in the realm of prospects at the time. So they basically said there's a lot of space in the parks that they plan on changing. I kind of feel like Toontown's on its last legs. I think that might be, I mean, if they're going to put in something brand spanking new, obviously Tomorrowland's getting a huge rebranding.
Yeah.
Once that happens, I wouldn't be surprised if Toontown goes away.
Interesting.
And then over at California Adventure, they're already doing some stuff, but we'll talk about that next week as well. But there's some major stuff going on there. So we're getting some big changes. Probably Star Wars and Marvel is my guess. And no third gate though, which I would like to see.
That's cool. I would like to just see more things in the park.
And then the annual passes would go through the roof. We don't need that. But so that's happening. And a little piece of more news. This was kind of exciting for me.
What?
They've announced some more casting for the live-action Beauty and the Beast, which
they have.
I have to say, I am more excited for the live-action Beauty and the Beast than I have been for any of these other live-action retellings. Beauty and the Beast I love, and I just think that one lends itself to it. And the fact that it's going to be a musical rocks my world. And ladies and gentlemen, Josh Gad will be playing LeFou. How perfect is that?
It's kind of great.
It's kind of perfect. And I never thought of it. It was never anything that I was like, yeah, he'd be great. It just kind of like they announced, yep, it's happening. And I was like, oh my God, that's perfection.
They have great names for this movie.
Yeah.
Great names.
It's a big cast, and it's going to be a big movie.
I'm excited.
When is it supposed to come out? It hasn't even shot yet or anything.
Yeah, 17?
Sure, what the heck?
2017. Hopefully we'll hear more about D23.
With the D23 Expo. Oh my God, yeah. That'd be awesome. Yes. And, but yeah, I was totally, Josh Gad's becoming like the Disney guy. He was at the shareholders meeting to announce Frozen 2. He was, what was it, the last 24-hour day? Was that what he was here for? Yeah. He was here to announce it was something. There's some. He was here
for the 24-hour day, but he was also back when the New World of Color Christmas premiered with Olaf. He was there.
He's kind of like all over the place for Disney these days. So good for you, Josh Gad. Pretty nice little career you get going on.
I know.
But yeah, I think that's going to do it as far as the news for the... We got through it. That's a lot of stuff to get through.
So much. So much news this week.
Tons of news this week.
But it's trivia time!
Trivia time! Okay, what do we got?
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
So we were just talking about Cinderella came out this weekend. And believe it or not, before Lily James took the role of Cinderella, someone else was also offered the role.
Offered the role? Mm-hmm. And said no?
And turned it down.
Was it a Fanning?
No, but who Elle Fanning played Aurora?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It wasn't her?
It was not a Fanning.
Wasn't Dakota?
Nope.
Was it a blonde?
It was not a blonde.
Was it a brunette?
Yes.
Was it Cinderella? Somebody from the... Was it like... It wasn't somebody from the Disney family. Like...
Nope.
It
was actually someone else we talked about this week.
Oh, who did we talk about? Let's go through my notes. Frozen. Well, was it the Harry Potter chick?
Yeah.
I'm blanking. Oh, wait a sec. I'm blanking on her name. Emma Watson. Yeah. I almost said Emma Thompson.
So Emma Watson was actually offered Cinderella.
Did she say, I want to play Belle?
Turned it down. So then they offered her Belle and she took that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So let's start this rumor. Emma Watson is a Cinderella hater.
Apparently Disney just wanted Emma Watson real bad. They're like, all right, we will.
Is Emma Watson the right name? Yeah. I always mix up the Emmas. There's so many Emmas.
Emma Thompson.
Yeah, she's Saving Mr. Banks. But Emma Watson.
She's also Harry Potter though, so
that's true as well. Yes. Okay, so Emma Watson. Yeah. She's a Cinderella hater.
Maybe, or maybe she's just a Belle lover.
Everybody hashtag. But Emma Watson.
I agree.
Cinderella.
I see her more as Belle.
Totally more as a Belle
than Cinderella.
Totally.
But I feel like Disney was like, all right, Cinderella, Beauty and the Beast, which one do you want to do? Because we just want you in a movie.
Seriously. I mean, she's great. I mean, so good. Beyond Harry Potter. So good.
I was looking at some other Cinderella trivia. And did you know that Kenneth Branagh and Helen Bonham Carter had a thing?
I didn't know that.
So many
during
things.
Filming?
No, like in the 1990s.
Okay, way back in the 90s.
Way back in the day. That's some fun stuff.
I love that you found that out.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a trivia question for you, actually inspired by last week's episode because it's something that we were questioning.
I don't remember last week.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you. It's something that we were questioning, and actually quite a few people wrote in and gave us the answer.
Oh, good.
We're talking about Tangled Ever After. And we could not remember what it premiered before, how they premiered Tangled Ever After. And we were Disney Geekette, Oliver Lovett, Mr. Haha543, and BRIFGR all wrote us and were like, no, it was this. And so I'm wondering, thank you, by the way, for writing in about that. I'm wondering if you know.
Was it before a movie?
It was before a movie. It's a little...
But it wasn't before a theatrical release movie.
It was before a theatrical release movie.
Oh, it was before a live-action movie.
It was not before a live-action movie.
It's for a Pixar movie?
It was Disney not a
animation
Pixar. It was
movie.
Walt Disney Animation.
Do
you want a hint?
I mean, Wreck-It Ralph was the next one.
It wasn't.
But it wasn't. What was Wreck-It Ralph?
It was Paperman for Wreck-It Ralph.
Yes, it was.
It was a re-release. Something came out, re-released in 3D.
Little Mermaid?
Nope.
Oh, Lion King.
No.
What else was in 3D? It was Little Mermaid, Lion King.
We were just talking about it.
Beauty and the Beast?
Beauty and the Beast 3D. When Beauty and the Beast 3D came out, according to all those people I just mentioned, and it sounds right, it premiered before that. Also, it was on the Cinderella... Let's see. It's on Cinderella Blu-ray.
I was going to say, I remember it being on a Blu-ray. Yeah, right here.
Tangled Ever After, animated short. Yep. It's also on the Cinderella Blu-ray.
Huh.
But yeah,
it also premiered on the Disney Channel one day.
Yes, it did as well. They also wrote that.
That's why I thought it was like a Disney Channel movie premiere kind of thing.
Beauty and the Beast 3D, which was a wide-ish release, I believe.
They did... Was that the first one? And Lion King was the second one?
It was
Lion King the first one?
No, Beauty and the Beast was finished first, but it was shelved for a long time.
Gotcha.
So they did Mermaid, which was a super limited release. I saw it at the El Cap in 3D. And then Lion King, which went wide and made a ton,
Lion King 3D
ton of money. And Beauty and the Beast 3D came out, which did well, but they started like doing 3D like Monsters Inc. and stuff, and those didn't do nearly as well, which was very disappointing.
I do remember the 3D Nemo.
Yeah, see, and it's like, I don't know, those just aren't, there's something really cool about seeing the 2D animated films in 3D. It's like watching a pop-up book. Yeah. It's really, really, I think, way cooler than seeing the computer animation in 3D. So, yeah, so they had like ups and downs with that, and they stopped doing it. It was a bummer because I remember Mermaid was supposed to get like a wide release 3D, and it never did, and I was really happy that they at least brought it to the El Capitan. Selfishly happy. But yeah.
Interesting. Good to know.
Yeah. But thank you for writing in. We love that when you let us know what we don't and correct us sometimes as well.
There you go.
But in any case, guys, just want to remind you, we have a super awesome giveaway going on right now with Who's This and What's This, who was a guest on last week's episode. So check that out if you haven't. You can find out how to win an awesome Neverland beanie through last week's episode, as well as at DisneyCoastToCoast.com. It is really cool. We both have one now.
I rock mine all the time.
I wore mine recently. I actually wasn't sure if like a beanie would look great on me, and I wore it, and I was like, I love this. Like, I love it. So now we just have to make sure we don't wear it on the same day, because that'd be really weird. If you see two guys walking around Disneyland with Neverland
even though it's getting to like 90 degrees, I'll still rock a beanie.
Yeah, see, I probably won't. I'm one of those guys. I'm like, a beanie is for cold weather. That's just a Boston thing, I think. But in any case, guys, check that out, because seriously, a really cool giveaway and an awesome episode. And of course, you can connect with us on all of our social media at DisneyCoastToCoast.com. And that's going to do it for us this week, isn't it, Patrick?
Sorry, I'm looking up at DisneyCoastToCoast.com.
Oh, okay. Hey, great website.
Oh, wow.
Contest.
Look at that news.
Social media. Tumblr blog. Oh my goodness.
What?
There's a blog. Look at that.
Oh, we're still doing a show. Hold on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So go to DisneyCoastToCoast.com. Find us on everything that you possibly can. And I think that's going to do it for us.
Oh, we also
want
to say thanks. We hit 1,000 Instagram followers this week.
We did. And you guys are loving our Instagram, which is awesome.
So thank you, guys.
I actually have to say, I love our Instagram. Like,
good. I'm glad.
No, like, I really, really love our Instagram. We go to the parks. In fact, we have this upcoming weekend. We're going to go and take a bunch more photos for you. And I love bringing kind of fun and unique places. In fact, I went to a fun, unique Disney place today, and I took some photos. So look forward to that.
Yeah, but so thank you guys so much.
And of course, we're on Twitter and everything else.
So much.
So find us and let us reach 1,000 on everything. And then 2,000, 3,000, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Sure.
1 million.
1 million Disney fans.
Now we're just talking a lot. Guys, thanks for watching. Goodbye.
Thanks for listening to Disney Coast to Coast. Have a magical day.
We're gonna give something away.
Yeah, we're gonna do a giveaway today on the show.
Yeah.
You can get your very own Peter beanie, right?
Yeah, Neverland beanie, awesome for girls and guys. So yeah, check out the rest of the video.
Yeah, we'll give the details later on in today's episode.